In honor of Grey's Anatomy coming back on today, if y'all did not see what happened at the end of season 17's finale, y'all will know I'm excited. But I ain't gonna watch it today. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. But also, no spoilers because some people, have not watched the episode yet for season 17. But there will be spoilers for the rest of the seasons, if that makes sense, okay? So, in 17th place would have to be season 16. This is where Meredith got fired from Sloan Gray Medical, and because she was trying to help out this family and she got fired. And even though this season did have this really good powerful moment when she was in that gray outfit, she was like, you have no room to talk because you were sitting there on that table and you made my husband, you did not save my husband at all, or something like that. That was a very powerful part. It was very powerful. So in season 16 there was a lot of different plot lines. Let me see. It was ramifications of Meredith, Richard, and Alex being fired, and Meredith going to jail. The continuing love triangle between Owen, Teddy, and Tom. Amelia taking time to figure out who she is. Joe's emergence from her psychiatric treatment, and the storylines about immigration in there. And Meredith defends her medical license. My favorite part would have to be when she defends for her medical license, but this season was not. It just wasn't it for me because that was the only good part, and then the bad part would have to be when Alex Karev left. Justin Chambers, I guess he needed a break from playing the role because he's been playing the role for so long, and he left, But if you know the show, y'all know what happened. I would have to give this season what did I give it? A 6 out of 10. Like, it's a good season, but it ain't the best from the earlier seasons. So in 16th place, I would have to put season 15. And season 15, the plot stories are, there's a lot. Like, Jeff Jackson is saved from a near accident. Amelia continues to care for Betty and Leo. Betty, that teenage girl. No, and Owen does the same thing. Andrew develops a relationship with Meredith. There was that. What else happened? Meredith turns to matchmaker Cece Colvin to find her perfect match. And she dates these other guys. Newlywed Alex faces a professional challenge. So this is when he just married Joe. And Bailey continues her quest to eliminate stress from her life. So she ended up taking a break for being chief of staff. And I think Alex was the chief of staff. And, she also even asks for a break from her marriage from Ben. And Ben is a really great guy. So I understand that. And Richard, oh my goodness, Richard went through this dark path after the death of his sponsor and all this. He started acting erratic. He had a dry spell, but he wasn't drinking. But then he becomes this terrible drunk with his aggressive behavior. And his wife Catherine ends up getting, his second wife, Catherine gets getting cancer in her spine. This was one of the better seasons of the end, but I have to give this one a 5 out of 10 because again, it didn't do nothing for me. Next season, 15th place. Okay, this is the season that's in 15th place is season 13. I thought that this one had the craziest season finales because Stephanie, it was her last season. I don't know why the heck she left, but she saved this girl from a fire because this guy was like a perv. I think he was a perv. A hospital fire and news about Megan throws everyone for a loop. Andrew bonds with Joe and develops feelings for her as he continues his internship. Nathan pursues Meredith. Nathan left to go to another show, I think. Ben feels caught between his attending friends and his resident colleagues. I think that was before Station 19. Maggie deals with her crush on Nathan. Joe feels isolated. Newlyweds Owen and Amelia have a fallout over having children because I think Owen wanted to have kids, but Amelia didn't. Callie and Sophia in New York, Arizona is caught between Alex and Andrew. This was when the show was better because even though Callie had left, Arizona and April were still on the show, And I would have to give this season 8 out of 10. Next one, season 14. So this is the season where April and Arizona left. I think that season, to be honest, besides after, Lexi and Mark died, was beginning of the end to the show to me, but here it is, still going. So in this season, Bailey is forced to renovate Grace Sloan due to the fire, and that's what I just mentioned. Owen's sister Megan is back. Teddy returns after Megan is found. DeLuca's sister Karina comes into the picture. April decides she needs to move out, so she can't handle the situation between her and Jackson because were going through a divorce. After Harper Avery dies, I think they figure out all this stuff that has happened. Amelia has a 10-centimeter benign frontal lobe tumor that has been growing for the past 10 years. So if y'all did not watch Private Practice and see why she was reacting the way she was to things, that was why. Overall, there was no storyline I hated in this. None. It was a pretty good season. 10 out of 10. Next season. Okay, it's the season we're on right now. In 13th place, I would have to put season 17. If you've not watched it so far, stop watching right here. I'm only going over the episodes that's already aired and not the one that's coming on tonight. So, Meredith has COVID. That's a bummer within itself. Everybody has to wear a mask because of the pandemic. It's not the same show. It hasn't been the same show for a while, but this season really made it not the same show. So I would have to give it, just based off right now, 4 out of 10. I would not change the ranking at all. Like, it is good right at 13th place. Let me see. In 12th place is season 12. Let me see what happened there. That's the season where Callie left. The actress, Sarah Ramirez, she got tired of playing the role. So that's why she left. And this season, let's see what happens here. It's after Richard and Catherine's wedding. Maggie and Amelia move along with Meredith and her kids to her former house. So, like, they go back to their other house. Like, they don't stay in that house. Alex and Joe move to a loft. Meredith starts to teach an anatomy class. Bailey becomes the new chief of surgery. Callie has new love interest, Penny. Blake, which you actually don't remember from season 11, she was the doctor that was there when Derek died with his flying self. Owen and Amelia's relationship begins to build. April returns from Jordan, wants to improve her marriage, but she learns that she's pregnant before signing the divorce paper. What else happens here? Oh my gosh, this part was so terrible. Meredith is brutally attacked by a patient and has a painful recovery process. Like, I don't know if he had like a tumor or something, but he was beating up on her and everything. It was just terrible. This season would also have to get a 10 out of 10 for me. The season in 11th place would have to be... I need some water. Season 10. Sorry. It's season 10. Okay, what happened in season 10? Let me see. So this was... Oh, this was after the storm. And relationships and romances have learned how to survive. And this is also Christina Yang's last season. I think this was also where, like, you can notice later on in the show, like, some things aren't the same. So during the storm, Bailey tells Shane to go find Weber. We find Heather got electrocuted and she died. And just Richard has to get back. Callie is trying to save her marriage. Take a break from her marriage. And Arizona wants to repair their relationship. But I think they just end their marriage. Christina and Owen continue to have sex after their breakup. Jimmy Evans, Alex's father, comes back in the picture. Richard is still dealing with his injuries. Shane feels guilty over Heather's death. April decides to marry Matthew, as Jackson tells her he's not interested in her anymore. But then Jackson has a relationship with Stephanie. On the day of April's wedding, Richard operates again, and Jackson's like, You don't belong with him. You belong with me. So that part happened. And Ben Warren, you know, he becomes a general surgery resident, filling the place of Heather Brooks. Christina treats 3 young siblings. Amelia arrives in Seattle after James proposes to her. And there's just this whole circle. Also, okay, so how Christina Yang left, she ended up going to Switzerland, where she met up with Preston Burke, and she actually takes over his job at the hospital. I would have to give this season a 8 out of 10. So the next season in 9th place would actually have to be season 11. So this is the season that really changed the show, I feel, because we lose Patrick Dempsey, Derek Madrini, okay, because he died, and Meredith is still dealing with the loss, so she decides to leave with the kids, and nobody can find her. But it turns out that she's actually pregnant with their 3rd child, and she names the daughter Alice Nutt after her mother. Owen and April leave overseas for a 3-month military training. Jackson and April prepare for parenthood, and she gives birth to a baby boy named Samuel, and this part is also sad because her baby boy died. And Arizona discovers her mentor, Nicole Herman, and Gina Davis, who played in Stuart Little, and learn that she only has 6 months to live, and she's trying to instill all this information in Arizona so she can take it over. And Callie and Arizona try to take a journey to have another kid, but they end up fighting. I give this season also an 8 out of 10. In 9th place, I have season 1. Now, when I started watching the show, I actually skipped this season because I tried to watch the show before and I couldn't get by this season, so I started watching season 2. So in this season, we're introduced to Meredith Grey, and they're all excited to see that she is the mother of Alice Grey, this big surgeon. And let me see what else. And she has sex with him on the first date. Like, it's crazy. And then she is pregnant by him, but it's like ectopic pregnancy. And then he likes her, and they like each other. Overall, now that I gave it a watch, I would have to give this season a 6 out of 10. Like, the first time I would have gave it a 0, but the second time I give it a 6 out of 10. 8th place, I would have to give this. 8th place is season 6. If you don't remember this season, this is a season that Teddy left. She left, like, good riddance. There's also the season that Izzy left, I think. Yeah, she had to leave in this season. This computer keeps messing up. Expect more competition, more doctors, and much more drama as Seattle Grace, that's before it got changed to Grace Sloan, merges with a competing hospital. So a lot happened in this season. It's crazy. Seattle Grace Hospital merges with Mercy West. Derek's ascension to chief of surgery. Then there's the death of Gray O'Malley. Callie and Arizona struggle in their relationships. Izzy abandons Alex because, she had that whole brain cancer, and I guess she got better, and then she left. Mark discovers he has a daughter. Mark and Lexi break up. Lexi and Alex have a one-night stand. Bailey preps the team to admit a 700-pound patient, and then it teaches them to stop laughing because it wasn't funny. Teddy and Mark have a brief relationship. Christina Owens, murderous problems, and Gray Clark. Oh my gosh. I remember this episode because I could see it playing in my mind. This episode was the most craziest one I've ever seen. And I remember April, because this was her first season. She actually helped the guy, get away with it, was sort of in a way. And that's when they fired her because it could have hurt somebody for real, for real. In 7th place, I have season 7. Ain't that funny how they're all matching up? Let me see. let me see. It's a year. Oh yeah, so this is after, you know, that terrible killing. The staff tries to deal with physical and emotional trauma. The 4th-year residents learn that the post for chief resident is open. Christina and Owen get married. Christina fears the OR. April Kettner and Jackson Avery move in with Meredith and Derek. Meredith and Derek try to get pregnant again. Alex Karev is single again. Arizona went to be a doctor in Africa. Derek starts a clinical trial. And, oh, Callie gives birth to a girl. And if you don't remember the accident, I guess her and Arizona got in a car accident. And, you know, she got to give birth. And Meredith and Derek get legally married. And they consider adoption. While Christina finds out she's pregnant with Owen's baby, she's not all that happy about it. Like, she don't want to be a mother. And I don't think she'll ever will be, because she just don't want that for herself. In 6th place, I have season 2. Season 3. Okay, so this is Kate Walsh's, Addison Montgomery's last season. And, you know, we see them two, and them two. So according to this, okay, so Izzy is mourning over Denny. Christina helps Burke cover up the fact that his hand tremors from the gunshot wound he received. There is a ferry crash. Meredith drowns and visits the afterlife where she sees her mother, Denny, Dylan, Bonnie, and Liz. Alex starts to have a relationship with this crazy lady named Ava. She's nut. Alice Gray dies. Susan Gray dies. Adele has a miscarriage. George's father dies. George marries Callie. George cheats on Callie with Izzy. And Addison leaves Grey's Anatomy to start the spinoff of Private Practice. And Christina and Burke have a wedding, but Burke ends up leaving her at the altar. So I had to give this season a 9 out of 10. I love this season. I love the earlier seasons more than the later seasons. So, yeah. 5th place would have to be season 4. In season 4, they have, you know, they're finally the Meredith, Christina, Alex. Okay, so Meredith, Christina, Izzy, and Alex are new residents and have their own interns, including George, who actually failed, so he never got to become a resident. All he was just an intern. And Meredith and Derek break up, but continue having breakup sex. I couldn't stand this character for nothing. I can't stand Eric Hahn. I don't like her. She replaced Preston. What else? Derek starts a relationship with Rose. I'm sorry, all I see is Derek and Meredith. Rebecca returns to see her, bringing big news. The relationship grows. Rebecca becomes unstable and hurts herself. Addison returns to help out on a case to see what's changed ever since she left. Callie develops feelings for Erica, which made her find that she was gay, but she's bisexual. And, you know, Meredith and Derek finally reunited. That was my favorite part. 10 out of 10 for this season. The next one, 4th place, season 5. Why is this video so long? Oh, this is a bad idea. Alright, so in season 5, Christina deals with the new trauma surgeon, Dr. Owen. Meredith and Derek move on in the relationship. The residents get to have their own solo surgeries. Kylie starts to explore her sexuality. Bailey takes an interest in pediatrics. Izzy gets worried when Denny starts appearing to her. This is when she started, I guess, the brain cancer started happening. Richard deals with his hospital only being 12th best. This is when he was still chief of surgery. And all these other things keep happening. And Alex and Izzy get married. The season ends with a cliffhanger. Izzy, Coles, and George is rushed into a dangerous surgery. While the doctors work to save their lives, Izzy exits an elevator in a dream of some sort and sees George. Third place is season 9. If you don't know, this was one of the better seasons. The season ended with Lexi dying. I couldn't stand her at first, but I loved her. And let me see what else happened in season 9. Oh, the plane crash. That was a very pivotal scene. Oh, I'm sorry. That's season 8. My bad. In third place is season 9. This is after the plane crash. And Mark Sloan dies. Meredith mourns Lexi because she died. Christina flees from Seattle and takes a job in cold Minnesota. And I think she regrets it. Arizona loses her leg. And Callie's trying to feel like she's a part of it. But she wasn't even there. So go take your butt somewhere and sit down. Bailey and Ben wedding gets postponed. And Bailey has to save Adele Weber. Even though she later dies. Dang, that was that long ago? Dang. And then the plane crash survivors and Callie are awarded $15 million each. And she was put in there as Mark's proxy. Joe starts dating Jason. A lot happened in the season. 10 out of 10. The next season is season 8. This is the one with the plane crash and where Lexi died. And, you know, these doctors, they just be doing so many great things. So many. So, the fallout from Meredith tampering the Alzheimer's trial happens. I wish this thing would stop popping up. Christina and Owen fight following the abortion. Like, Christina had abortion and then tell her husband. Lexi and Jackson break up. The fifth-year residents take their oral boards. April loses her virginity to finance Jackson. And I would give this season a 10 out of 10 in the season. That is finally in first place is, drum roll please, still drum roll, season 2. It was so much better because let me see, let's go. Callie comes in here somewhere or no, but I need the computer. Alright, so in season 2, it's... Oh, I'm sorry. I said Christina's pregnancy was in season 1. I mean season 2. So Miranda Bailey gets pregnant. Meredith sleeps with George. They both said that was a terrible idea. George's relationship with Callie. Izzy and Alice's relationship. Danny gets a crush on Izzy. Christina and Burke's relationship. And this is a love triangle between Meredith, Derek, and Addison. That was so crazy to see, but eventually Addison gave up and it was like Meredith and Derek. But yeah, this is my favorite season out of all of them. All the earlier seasons I would see up to season 2, all the way to season 12. That's what I would say were season 13 were my favorites. But this is the longest, worst, the best I've ever done. And I regret it, sort of. So I hope you all watch this to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed Grey's Anatomy tonight. I'm not watching it because I've been filming, but I want to take a break. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.